横面打ち、小手返し。
Now we'll move on to the Kotegaeshi from Yokomenushi.
今度は上に来る。
This time my hand comes from above.
こう。下ろして。これで動けない。
If I assume this position, he's not able to move.
動きに無駄があってはダメ。
If your partner can attempt to move out of it, you've got an opening in the technique.
これは四方投げと同じ。
This is the same as Shihonage, this far.
四方投げは下です。
For Shihonage, you recalled I came from underneath. Now I come from above for a Kotegaeshi.
スッて。そしてこれを。これを。これで動けない。
From this position, he can't move. Then we have the pin here.
この時剣の気持ち、剣の二の太刀、組み太刀に。
In doing this technique, I have the feeling of using the sword, in particular the second kumitachi.
突きが来る。あ、突きが。
For example, in the second kumitachi, you have a thrust in
突
movement.
きが来る。
So the thrust is analogous to the punch here, the tsuki.
押さえられたら突きが来る。
So your sword is brought down, and then this is followed by a thrust in the second kumitachi.
ダメ。
Okay, there's a problem here. All right, take a look here, William.
あ、こうやった。
Here's what you were
はい、
doing.
回る。
Turn.
はい。
There's the opportunity to escape there. So bring it further over the head like this. You leaned over him. Keep your back straight and then go over his head like that. See? It's a question of the correct angle.
これはダメ。
This would be incorrect.
二
Keep your
強、三強、みんな固めは。
for the immobilization technique
こ
from
れでも。
Nikkyo, Sankyo, here or here,
これでも。
the principle is the same.
これでも。角度。こ
See the angle here with the arm straight? He brings it up over the
こ
head.
から下の角度。
Look at the angle from this point downward.
ここから下の角度。
Look at the angle from the here, just below the elbow, down to his shoulder.
これは。
If you bend here, he can turn.
これはこう言っても回っちゃう。
So if you turn the joint there, you run the risk of your partner spinning out of the technique. So keep that elbow joint straight.
この角度も。お願いします。全然痛くない。
It doesn't hurt,
ただ動けない。
but he can't move. First from Shomenuchi.
必ず投げが打っている。
I initiate the attack.
時の手を止めじゃなくて。
I invite his attack
あ、こっちが打つ。
like this.
後ろを気持ち。
Have the feeling of cutting to the rear.
ここにこう入れる。
Place the little finger here on the wrist.
ここにこう入れる。やっぱり薬指の付け根に親指。
And you put the thumb on the ring finger. They say the medicine finger in Japanese.
これが基本。
This is the basic hold. This would be too far away. You need to stay in close.
小手返しをやろうと思うと手を引かれてしまう。やろうと思うと手を引いてしまう。
If I attempt to do it from here, he'll pull his hand away.
この距離。
But this is the appropriate distance. Bring the hand in front of your center.
そして
Then step back.
この角度を取る。
You create this angle with his arm.
この角度を取る。角度を取ればここに倒れる。
If you have the correct angle, you can throw him simply this way.
取ります取りますこれはダメ。
This would be incorrect. Just stand and stay there for a moment.
はい。
Okay, Shomenuchi at the same time,
そしてこちらに。
and you throw it in this
決
direction.
して向こうに行かない。
Don't go in front that way.
そして
This is the distance that's appropriate.
必ずこの角度を取る。
Be sure you have the arm in this position for the throw.
強い人の手は効かない。
If you attempt to apply it with power, it won't work.
最初だけ痛いのは
It just hurts in the beginning.
2強も痛いのは最初だけ。
Only the knee kyo also hurts only in the beginning. Then people become strong and the joints can absorb the pressure.
2強で痛いやつには段はやらないという。
In the old days, they used to say if the knee kyo hurts you, you can't get a dan.
だから毎日稽古終わると先輩お願いします。
So that when I was a student, I would, in the old days, after the end of every class, say, please put the knee kyo on me to train me. Then I became strong.
小手返しも2強も最後まで効かない。
So in the final analysis, those techniques don't work anymore.
倒すのはだけど角度。
So you have to throw them with the body turn and the correct angle. Here's the angle. Hey, the basic from Shomenuchi.
スタイル、岩間スタイル基本。
This is the Iwama basic Kotegaeshi.
参考になれば嬉しい。
I hope that this will help you in your own training.
やってみてください。
Please give it a try.
こうなったら後ろがやられる。
The problem with attempting to do the atemi here is that you're exposing your back.
こっちを向いて。
You want to be facing this direction and across the shoulder. Here you can be attacked from behind and you'll never know it.
初心者にはやらせない。
So I don't have beginners use the atemi because they become so preoccupied they don't pivot properly. Have the feeling of cutting all the way to the rear. This is the position you see in the photo.
これやる。
See this.
初心者はまずこれをやる。
So we have the beginners cut to the rear so that they learn the proper body turn. 1, 2.
そしてアドコーナー。
Then at that point you can put in the atemi.
それをこればかり考えて、だんだんだんだんだんだん。
If you only think of the atemi, you end up just standing in front.
これは初心、これは有段ですから。
So This is something that we teach to black belt holders.
さあ今度は今の舵取りの小手返しになります。
Okay? Now the tachidore.
これはちょっとこれ合わせる。
Okay, here I want to blend with his attack.
合わせる。
We have a blend here.
合わせないと入る。
You want, the technique won't work without the blend. If you have your hand out, obviously it'll be cut.
アクションバードスタイル。
Don't use a bouncing style.
だからはい。僕になってもこの手は。
It would be dangerous even, I'm sorry, I see. Put the hand behind you even though he's not attacking with the bokken.
必ず角度を取る。
Be sure you have the correct angle here.
正面打ち、舵取りの小手返しね。
There are many so-called applied kotegaeshis.
正面打ち。舵取り。横面。胸取り。
These are all,
胸取りですね。胸でこう。
you could either do it from the grab or from the punch.
基本的にこの突きは取れない。
Basically speaking, we would never do it against this because the hand position is not. So we practice this way with the grab, where the hand is in the position where it's possible to do the pressure. You'd have to reach all the way over.
よほど下まで来ないと、こ
In that case, if you don't bring them all the way down, you can't get the proper grip.
こでは取れない。
You can't do it from up here.
基本的にはこの突きはこう短距離。
For this, we'd rather go into the sankyo. If
でもどう
the,
してもこの突きを取るときは、
but if you absolutely have to do it from there, you've got to bring it down first so that your hand can be positioned properly.
これは後でやります。
I'll do that a little later on.
片手取り。
Now, we'll move on to the katate dori.
正面。 親指を下から
The thumb comes from beneath.
正面。親指下から
Your thumb comes from below.
正面。親指を下から。そして
From here,
そして最初掴んだ手は離さない。
so leave your hand on his hand. Don't release it as you move into the pin.
正面。正面。最初掴んだ手は離さない。
The hand, after it grips, do not release. Carry it all the way over into the pin. The hands move in this manner. You can throw even with the pressure against the thumb.
これ基本。
This is the basic.
この流れ。
Ki no nagare is like this.
ここでみんな角度で
It's a question of the correct angle.
角度が正しくないから無理がある。
If it's not going well for you, it's because your angles are incorrect.
その角度は手でなくて返さばきで合わせる。
You blend with your body movement.
返さばきで合わせる。倒れなかったら親指が折れる。
If he doesn't fall, his thumb would be broken.
각도가悪いと外れる
If the angle is wrong, however, his hand slips off.
角度が確かに降りる
So he has to fall to avoid breaking his thumb.
だから小手返しは角度で倒れる
So here we throw him by.
倒れるんじゃない
It's not because his wrist hurts that he falls, but because he's taken off balance. You don't enjoy that kind of practice where it's always painful.
研究しなかったら最後まで合気道がいけない
If you want to really get to the higher level of Aikido, you have to discover how to use the correct angles.
強い時の技で終わってしまう
It's not sufficient just to work on a power level and try to force your way through.
手の中
Here's the Kino Nagare version. Okay, please practice softly.
どうする
This is the correct way. You just wait with your hand below to take it. Here's the Kino Nagare, Kotegaeshi,
角度の研究
and here's a study of the proper angle.
両方やってください
Please practice both.
手の流れの
Here's the Kino Nagare version
角度の研究
and the study of the angle.
角度が悪いから外れちゃ
If your angle is wrong, your hand will slip off.
うこれは角度が悪い
This is a wrong angle.
これは外れる
This is correct angle.
静かにやってください
Please practice softly.
小手返し
Now the Munadori Kotegaeshi.
はいごめんなさい合わせる
It's a matter of blending with your partner.
ちょっと胸と合わせるこうじゃない
Like this.
これはダメ
This would be incorrect.
合わせる
We blend with
あと
him.
はさっきと同じ
From there, it's the same as the previous technique.
今度は立って押さえてください
Now this time try the standing pin.
いつもお腹の前
Always keep the hand in front of your center.
お腹の前だから強い
You're strong if you've got the hand in front here.
こっちは弱い
If you have it to either side, it becomes isolated and weak.
これをやります
We'll also do this one.
帰りはこれ
First we do this.
2回目は間違った
Then if you make a mistake and go to the wrong side, you can come back with this one.
最初は
First we do this.
まずこれをやるこっちはまだやらないでくれこの後
Please don't do this one yet. We'll do it later. This is about the appropriate angle.
これは遠い
This is too far away.
これは近い
This is too close.
この時は
At this point, if you're in that position, then step back out in this manner.
基本は何遍もやらない方がいい
But for the basic, you shouldn't be adjusting your feet too often.
ワンツーで投げる
We throw on a 1-2 basis. 1, 2.
これは1、2、3
This would be on a 3-movement basis.
こういう場合あります。反対の手取られた。
Sometimes you have this situation.
取れない。
You can't free your hand.
取れない。だから、そうきついです。僕の場合は、いい。
So in this situation, again, we would step back in front to create the proper spacing.
基本的には、
However, the basic is about this angle here.
実際こっち行かない。やられる
Be sure you don't come in front because you're exposed to the rear.
角度を取る。
Take the appropriate angle.
足は2本です。
He has only 2 legs,
一番こっち弱い。
so this is his weakest angle.
これが強い。
He'll be strong from this angle.
でやられる。
Also, you can be attacked from behind.
ここに
So come to here,
最初の時でこの手の角度を
and with a body turn, take this angle for the throw.
一番弱い方に投げる。
Throw in his weakest direction.
だから力を入れる。
Therefore, you don't need power.
はいどうぞ。この方でやったことありますか？
Have you ever done it in this manner?
できましたか？
Were you able to do it?
はい。
Please do it, Luis.
ゆっくりやってみる。
Do-
これは僕弱まスタイルだからね。できないんだ。基本的にできないんです。
basically speaking, you can't do it.
気の流れだらいい。
You can do it with a kino nagare, however,
気の流れはこうするんだ。気の流れはできる。
because he's reaching.
だから今までは
So in Iwama,
今までやらなかった。
we hadn't done it up until recently.
どこでもやってるから、は
But because everybody else is doing it,
い、逃げる。はい、逃げる。できないんです。だから岩間は今彼がやったね。
so what we do in Iwama is it's kind of a device.
これ以外にやる方法はない。
This is really the only way to do it.
正直に言いました。これでは逃げられる。
See, because he can pull his hand free.
こうやっ
There's
て待っていない。
the people won't stand there waiting for you.
さっきのバイバイしない。
You just say goodbye.
だから今まあこれをやるときは
So when we do Iwama, we come very rapidly onto the hand. So this is not a basic.
わかりましたか？
You understand the point?
はい、やらなかった理由はここにある。
Sensei didn't do that technique.
気の流れなら問題ない。
You can do it in a kino nagare without any problem, particularly.
気の流れなら問題ない。気の流れの技は3段以下。
However, the kino nagare is for 3rd-degree black belts and above.
気の流れの技は全部3段以下。今はそうは言ってない。そしてあれ今は何だったね。はい、間違ってこっちに来てしまった。
All right, let's say that you made a mistake and went to the opposite
果
side.
たして当て目が来る。いやいや
And you're exposed to an atemi on this side.
ああ、しまった。
I
だから、
almost started to say the wrong word. I made a mistake.
はい、いくらですこうやった。僕こうやった。
Oh,
あれが、あれをゆっくり入っていく。はい、こう。
like this and like this.
こっち。あ、間違った。
I made a mistake.
はい。
Now, in this case, we're held cross-handed.
今度取れない。
I can't pull my hand free this way. In that manner, I can free my hand.
また同じで。
From here, it's the same.
そしても取れない。
This way, you can't pull your hand free.
どうぞ。
So there's a way of barring the elbow. But it's best not to do that. Please try. The thumb is strong here. So you can't raise up directly. Come out to the side. This is a variation. He's strong if you come directly up. So, to the outside. There's a correct angle here. It's incorrect to go straight up. His thumb will stop you. So to the side. Now there are two Kino Nagare versions. This is a Kino Nagare. Now this time he grabs the other side. Here's the Kino Nagare. And here's another. This is the one we just did, Kino Nagare fashion. Please practice any of these freely. Now from the Katadori attack. And we have Yokomenuchi. Yeah, you have to expect that he'll attempt to counter punch you here. We have the feeling that we do in the second tachi. This is the basic body turn. Remember how we do this with the sword in the second kumitachi? Same thing. This is not the basic. You're dead. If you're doing it with a sword, you die then. Here. Cut down. Quickly pass through. This is the basic. Watch carefully. I change my hands. So he doesn't make it in time with his thrust. You need to be able to learn this body turn in order to do Aikido at the properly. Come to the opposite side. Let me show you something kind of foolish. Come here. Sometimes you'll find yourself in this position where if you attempt to pull, he's very strong. Oh, okay, this is something you shouldn't do. In that case, you should throw very quickly. If you find resistance there, Please try that. What he's saying basically is you're already here in position for Kotegaeshi, so it's pointless to attempt to pull your partner down because you're applying the Kotegaeshi technique and you're already in position. See what I'm saying? From there you go into the throw rather than trying to pull your partner down. Now from the katadori. You have this feeling behind your movement as the attacker. Therefore, we want to bring him down this way and cover ourselves to protect from the counter. So cover the hand here so he can't punch you. Now we do it to him. So therefore he'll let go. Otherwise he gets it in the face. This is the same as the Yokominachi. If not, he'll punch you. This is a good complicated practice. 複雑だからいい。
複雑の稽古は複雑難しい技はとても素晴らしい稽古。
わかりました。Because it's a very intricate technique and it's difficult to do, it's good training for you. In other words, then if you're in a real situation surrounded by very many attackers and you can do complicated techniques, then it's easier to handle multiple attackers with simple techniques. If you only do just very simple techniques in a multiple situation, you won't be able to move. So complicated techniques are good training for you. Always come here to block against the punch. Get off the attacking line. This is the basic for the Kotegaeshi from the katadori. Now from the Ushiro attack, Ushiro ryotedori. You must first learn the Kokyuho method from the Ushiro ryote grab. One. I can't pull my hand free. So do this release that we studied earlier. From the right, hami. Kokyuho. This release is a basic movement that you need to learn. Apart from practicing your falls per se, I'd like you to do your techniques in a very severe manner, but then throw softly. In normal training, you don't normally do hard or big falls because injuries result. The senpai or advanced students can do that, or in preparations for a demonstration you might do it, but normally you don't.
技は厳しく
Do the technique
投げは
severely and throw softly.
ここまであとはし
Up here, up to that point, it's severe, and then afterwards, softly for the throw.
さあ今度は
Okay, this time we're held in this manner.
あとは
Afterwards, it's the same.
今こう
Come to here.
こう上から掴む
You grab from above
この力で外す
and free yourself by turning your hip.
上から掴む
Grab from above, turn your hip, and free yourself from his grip.
上から
Grab from above,
そしてこうはいどうぞこういった
we did this.
こういった今度はこう
Now we do it this way.
さっきは
Before,
こういった
we did the basic this way.
こう今度は
And now,
こう広長いこれは後ろから掴まれたらば
if you grab, for example, from the shoulders,
これと同じ
it's the same as this movement.
前両手こう
Or from the front,
これ
right.
動きは同じ
The movement for all of these, the Tai Sabaki is the same.
広長いはいどうぞ
One,
じっと
two. This is a way of teaching it.
じっとそして覚えたら丸くやる
And then after you've learned that, then you can do it in a circular manner.
右手が上がる左手がこの間を通す
Come in between.
はいどうぞ
We'll do two, one where we block the attack and the other where we push it through, the flowing version. That's this here.
問題はこの形
Okay? The key point here is how to unbalance your partner, stepping in behind.
この形
This is the position, correct position.
これができる
So he's not able to come with an elbow attack here.
握られない
Nor can he escape.
力いらない
You don't need power either.
こうすると
If you do this, you run the risk of him countering you with his
逃
elbow.
げる
Also, he can escape by twisting out of it.
そして重い
Also, he feels heavy when you try to throw.
この時はこうする
In that situation, you take him by the neck and throw him that way.
2
Two,
2ここまででいいです
okay, you can come to this
時
point.
間がないから脳受け
We
見て
don't have much time, so just come to this point. Let me explain the irimi here.
正面で入り
For example, from Shomenuchi,
片手でいい
you can do it with one hand.
逃げられない
And he can't escape from here if you do it correctly.
この手いらない
Here he's doing it with the other hand, but yet just one hand.
こが入り身になってるから逃げられる。
So, when I bring him into this position here, I unbalance him so he can't escape. Even with one hand. And it doesn't require power.
これが大先生です。
This is O Sensei's way of doing it.
逃げられる。
He can't escape from there.
そうすると
Therefore, this would be a shortened version.
まっすぐの指。
A way of entering directly.
この手が触らない。
This hand doesn't even touch.
それはひねりがある。
There's a twist here, a hip twist, which makes the technique possible.
次が半身の剣の
Here you see the importance of the hami, the hip twist, as in the use of the sword.
どうしても合気道は剣と上をやらないと完璧な体術にならない。
It's very important to do ken and jo in order to have perfect taijutsu techniques.
だから明日はたくさん武器技をやります。
So beginning tomorrow, we'll do lots of weapons techniques with you.
気持ちは
The feeling that we have
この
here
気持ち
is
どうぞ
offering dozo. Not like this. This is incorrect.
どうぞこの気持ち
Have the idea of, oh please, opening up completely.
これもない。
This is the same.
どうぞ
Here, please.
この方法
Let's take a look at this way of grabbing.
この方法は非常にいい方法です。
It's a very effective way of holding the neck.
これは最初木の研究会公平統一が最初アメリカへ行ってこれを研究して覚えて帰ってきた。
This is something that Koichi Toei Sensei devised when he was first traveling to America.
それが本部道場でみんな真似して今のこと。
And then this became very widespread at the Hombu Dojo and has remained until today.
これは今入り身ではない関係ない。
However, this here cannot be considered irimi. Why? Because I haven't entered completely.
この不完全な時にこれはいい。
So, all right, so in that situation, when I've done something wrong, this is a very effective way of unbalancing
ここ
him.
ではこう自由に握る。
So, for example, here, if I attempt to hold his neck from far away, he can move his shoulders and escape.
これはいい。
So, in that case, you would use this, where you immobilize the neck.
ごまかすのにはいい。
It's good device to get your way through the
だけど
technique,
入り身の稽古にはならない。
but it's not good for irimi practice.
完全な入り身ならば
Because in the perfectly executed irimi, you enter deeply, off balance, directly in.
ここで楽にできれば完璧な入り身です。
So if you can hold the technique this way, which the neck here this way, which in a sense is rather awkward, you can only do that from the correct irimi position. So it's a way of forcing yourself to assume the correct position vis-a-vis your partner's body.
それはどうやっても自由ですけど、
You're free to do as you
今は
want,
岩間スタイルを説明しています。
but what I'm explaining to you here is our approach to Aikido in Iwama style.
たくさんの先生はいろいろ研究しています。素晴らしいものがたくさんあります。
I've seen many teachers and I've studied their techniques and I've seen many wonderful things.
いいところは真似した方がいいです。
And where you find good points, please imitate them.
組織に関係なくいい先生がいたらもういいものはとった
If you find a good sensei, regardless of the organization, learn from him or her.
私はただ今岩間スタイルを説明しています。
What I'm attempting to impart to you is the Iwama approach to Aikido.
こう
And we enter this way.
受けるときにこうする。
So when you receive the technique, it's like this. He's showing the Kino Nagare level now.
早く強く。
So come strong and fast.
はいです。
This is a higher level technique.
大先生スタイル。
O Sensei's approach to it.
鏡の前に立ってもう映った時勝ってなくちゃいけない。
There's kind of like an expression where O Sensei would say that the technique takes place in the length of time it takes to look at yourself in the mirror. In other words, instantaneously.
こうやって遊んでいられない。
There's no time to play around turning the person around this way.
あっちにもこっちにも敵はいる。
Why? Because you may have multiple enemies coming from all angles. You have to throw them in an instant.
この中には
Okay?
これは
Now,
下まで落とします。
this time I'll come
止めたら
inside
危ない。
and I'll bring his arm down so that he can't push me off
そ
balance.
して入り身します。
Then I'll make an irimi movement into here. And we're back to the earlier position, the earlier basic.
こうなる。
And then from here I throw.
叩き落とし
We strike him
で
down.
この足が入り身します。
I enter in the irimi manner.
下から掴みます。
And
下から掴む
notice I'm grabbing his hand from beneath.
この形。
This is the position.
脳気味に稽古してください。
Okay, so please practice it and don't do the fall. We're just about out of time.